Hey cats, it's EDDBUD here, back with the series that everybody loves. Today I ask the question, is it running shoe yay or nay? Thanks for joining me here at EDDBUD Running Shoe Reviews. It is always appreciated. I got 4 shoes today for you, but before we get to those, here's a word from EDDBUD. So this series isn't about me saying that a shoe is total trash or it's fantastic. Obviously I won't know that until I've actually got the shoe in hand, in person, and got it on foot, etc. This is merely me telling you if I'm going to pick the shoe up or not. It might have some features that I'll find particularly important to try out, or it could be that I think another shoe tuber out there could do the shoe more justice. So just to clear that one up, a few people seem to struggle to grasp the concept. I think most people though have got enough acumen to be able to figure it out. Shoe number 1. So first one up today is from Craft. You know, I did try one of their shoes out a few weeks back. Sadly, I've not had much opportunity to get back out in them, but I did enjoy my initial impression. The Craft CTM Ultra Carbon Race Rebel is the one up on today's yay or nay. So I enjoyed the Craft CTM Ultra. That was a really nice shoe. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but actually it all added up to a very comfortable ride. Here though we have a remix of that shoe, but with an added carbon plate. Some nods there really to the CTM Ultra Carbon. I think there's a different foam in this shoe, but I think it might not work for me. Here's why. Don't forget the Craft CTM Ultra did in fact have a Pegasus core to the midsole material. Again, we've got that popcorn insole, which is the same as the one that we find in some of the Innovate shoes that I've tested out over the last year. Craft call that their Ultra insole, but we know it's also called the Boomerang insole. It's obviously manufactured by some other company, but the different brands just place their logo on it. It's a superb addition though. I think that's a great addition for any shoe. A very similar looking upper here to the one that I found on the CTM Ultra. Same insole, but what of the foam? The UD Foam Pro is apparently an EVA based foam, and considering the price on Start Fitness of this shoe, I'm already put off by that. £219. Really? £219 when we're still talking about an EVA midsole. I simply can't even entertain paying that much to test out a shoe on a whim that's got an EVA foam. It's not happening. Half the price of that and you got the CTM Ultra, which I found to be a really nice, usable daily type shoe. I think with all the improvements in super shoes over the last few years, I can't see many people going for this one. I mean, it's the most expensive shoe on Start Fitness's list of road running shoes right now. Seems to be 2 steps in a backward direction. A strong stallion style nay for me for the Craft CTM Ultra Carbon Rebel. Just seems to be a rebel without a cause, this one. I think too much emphasis on the carbon and not enough on the foam. Sorry Craft, but it's not happening. Shoe number 2. You guys know I like the Pegasus 38, the original version really hit the spot. I've noticed they've brought out a custom by you version of this shoe, but the Shield variation. Now we're talking Nike, offering some more attractive custom options on the 38, but the Shield variety. So of course you'd have to go with the toggle laces. It is winter. There's a host of different colours along with a number of shades on the Storm Tread outsole. The big change obviously between the standard version and the Shield is the overlays that go around the shoe, kind of wraps around the toe box towards the back of the heel, and it's going to provide a little bit of water repellency. Don't think it's going to be amazing if you go running through a flood or something, but it's not really what it's designed for. Just could make it a little bit more usable in a UK winter setting. The standard almost plush and heavily padded Pegasus 38 standard version is a potential precipitation sponge, and as such this makes for quite an attractive option if the Pegasus 38 did work for you in the summer months. There's an inner glove type booty construction on this one, of which the tongue is upgraded, so it's a shoe with some reasonable options there if you're going to be running in colder weather. Here you can see I've created a Pegasus 35 original type colourway of the Pegasus 38 Shield. I guess a remix of sorts, due to the fact I just really love the original colourway of the Pegasus 35. I think the only downer here for me is the price. They've moved things up to about £135, so it's a full £20 extra than the standard variation of the shoe. Do I really want to wait 3 or 4 weeks to pick one up? Well, no, actually. I have noticed Nike have released a slightly better colorway of the shield. I think I'll pick that one up. There's a little bit of color on there. It just looks a little bit more interesting. I can always bag myself some toggle laces and place those onto this version, and I'll get a shield that looks a little bit more interesting for a little less cash. Plus I have a few other trail type shoes to test out, the Reebok Energy 3 Adventure, and I've got the Saucony Endorphin Trail 2, so they'll fit the bill if I need something with a little bit more protection. So I'm going to say it's a light yay for me for the Pegasus 38 shield. I won't be picking up the Custom by You, but I will grab that other colorway that Nike have just put out. While I've been sat at home kind of recuperating, I have really pined to get out there, back on the trails where the ground's a little softer. I think that might be a starting point for me, in fact, when I do get back out running. As such, I'm certainly going to be picking up some more dedicated trail shoes. I'll have a go at doing some trail races next year, in fact. So let's have a quick look at a brand that I haven't picked up any shoes from in a long time, Salomon. Here we have the Salomon Ultra Glide. So this one comes in at around about 129 Earth credits here in the UK. It's kind of like a Salomon best of, really, I suppose, this shoe. There's lots of features and tech that they've incorporated into other shoes. They've mixed it up in their cauldron and produced the Ultra Glide, a max cushion mixed terrain masher, which by all accounts Salomon recommend for those frequenting the trails on a more regular basis. The outsole clearly says mixed use to me. With its reasonably deep lugs there, 4mm seems to be the typical figure for lug depth. I think the upper's certainly looking a lot more refined than some of the Nike trail offerings we've seen over the last couple of years, but that's Salomon's bag, isn't it? I can see why so many people gravitate towards Salomon shoes over the swoosh and the three-stripe brand because of that. We have some appropriately placed overlays around the front of the shoe. I think that's going to amplify the more limited aquatic resistance here in the Ultra Glide. Though a 38.2mm heel stack, that gives me cause for concern. That's just too much for me. I'm tall enough as it is. I want to be as low to the ground as I possibly can from now on. I think I will be grabbing a Salomon shoe, but I'm not sure the Ultra Glide is the one for me. From closer inspection, this one just may have too much underfoot for my requirements. Salomon lists this as 260 grams. I don't know in which size that is. I would imagine once you get up into my size, it's going to be quite a weighty shoe. I want something a bit more nimble, a bit lighter perhaps. So it's going to be a nay for me on the Salomon Ultra Glide at this point. Shoe for today is the Salomon S-Lab Pulsar SG. So the SG stands for soft ground. I was thinking about the trails I typically run on. I tend to be taking on more softer trails, forest woodlands, with some damp mud and some smaller and shorter gravel sections. So relatively mixed, but nothing too crazy really. I mean, the Pulsar SG sounds ideal. In terms of my natural habitat, I don't need masses of stack here underfoot. They've extended the lugs out on this forthcoming release. I think it's 4.5mm over the original Pulsar, which had much shorter lugs. One of the viewers though has pointed out to me that there is going to be a new version of the Pulsar, which is just called the Trail. This seems a better option, and it's going to use Salomon's brand new foam they're calling Energy Surge. I think this one's got a TPU plate in the shoe, so going along the lines of perhaps the Zoom Fly or the Saucony Endorphin Speed, where you've got a little bit of rigidity but still some flex there if required. This one seems a more daily shoe to me, not quite as much midsole stack, which is ideal, but you've got the typical 6mm Salomon heel to toe drop. So midsole material is EVA and olefin. Now I remember seeing that composition in some of the Under Armour midsole materials, although I think they've adjusted it so that it's a lot more like a rebound type midsole this time around, less of a dense feel, and in that case I'm in. Not sure I need to go all out whole hog on a Salomon race shoe for the time being, so the Pulsar Trail could be ideal for me. Around about $130, so I think if you translate that across to Earth credits, it's in the right sort of zone for me. Could be a bit of a trail treasure with its combo of energy blade technology. So I'm going to say it's a yay for the Pulsar Trail. That's the 4 shoes in today's Yay or Nay, guys. Let me know what you think of those down in the comments. Really not sure where Craft are going with that one. £219 for that shoe. Seems crazy. I mean, this is a quite nice alternative. I found it to be quite forgiving. Nice responsive sort of ride, but at half the price. A special musical interlude for you today. I've been waiting a long time for the release of the new War on Drugs album, and it finally drops tomorrow, the 29th of October 2021. The 3 tracks that have been released so far are all fantastic. The most recent one is called Change, which absolutely explodes around about the 2-minute 20 mark. Here the band just sort of lifting things up, raising up the vibes. I've noticed on the 3 tracks released so far that the vocals are much higher in the mix, which was always something I really hoped that the War on Drugs would attend to. They tended to be a little bit quieter and buried amongst the guitars, synths, and those drum machine beats. Really excited about this one, guys. Do go and check it out tomorrow on release. The War on Drugs, I Don't Live Here Anymore. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of today's video, guys. It's always appreciated. And also, thanks for sticking with me while I'm not doing an awful lot of running. As you can tell, it's having an effect on me. Trying not to be too much of a grouch around the house, but it ain't easy. Anyone that's injured probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully I'll be back out there soon, but till then, I appreciate you sticking with me and tuning into the channel. It really does help us out here. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when I roll those new videos out for you. Also give the video a thumbs up like if you've been enjoying the content, and also share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you